In this video, we're going to be discussing how Nvidia could be leading to a major AI season. I'm also going to be giving you my current crypto market update, my strategy with altcoins, and how I'm trading the next few weeks. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into the AI meme coin sector like we did yesterday, but I'm going to give you an update across those coins. And then at the end of the video, I'll also be summarizing my current strategy. I hope you do enjoy these videos. If you want to be early to the latest crypto alpha, make sure to click that subscribe button down below and hit that post notification bell. If this is one of your first time seeing a video from me, welcome to the channel. My goal on this channel is to make you a better crypto investor, of course, help you profit this cycle through fundamental analysis, risk management, and hopefully some of the picks that I can give you in these shows as well to help with your research to help make you a better investor. My specialty is really like catching on to the early trends and also learning how to like gain an edge through fundamental investing in the market. That's how I would summarize my trading style, and then also using TA to complement that. So firstly, before we get into the AI madness, let's give a quick market update here because Bitcoin did have a little bit of a pullback overnight. My summary is quite simple on Bitcoin. You can see in front of you the range structure that we are currently in. We did push up to the top of the range before rejecting yesterday. I do view this as a normal cool down. I mean, after a big 18% move into range high, it's only normal that Bitcoin is going to cool down. And you'll know if you watched yesterday's video, I actually mentioned that I was anticipating Bitcoin to have a little period of cool down now after making such a strong run. And I also discussed that in the Discord AMA yesterday. So nothing out of the ordinary here, nothing that has taken us by surprise. Now, technically, although this is another rejection, the temporary breach of the previous high, which is the high that you can see highlighted here, plus the series of higher lows that we have made, does give me some confidence that the structure is shifting from a downtrend to an uptrend, because we aren't getting lower lows like we were here. We are now starting to get higher lows, and also the temporary breach of the previous high was the first sign that Bitcoin did have the firepower to actually start testing some of those resistance levels. Now, clearly, fireworks won't happen. That all-time high test won't happen until we actually break out of the top of this range, but that is something that I do anticipate to happen fairly soon. By soon, I mean a matter of probably months, not necessarily in the next couple of weeks, because I think the big move doesn't happen until post-election, and now is more of a phase where you can focus on accumulating, planning, and refining your watch list, which hopefully today's video helps you do. Now, in terms of shorter-term support, 66K is an important structural level because that was the previous local high that we made. If we want to continue pushing higher and potentially have a range high break in the short term, let's monitor the daily close today and tomorrow to see where we land up. If we do lose that level, the path does become a bit trickier and probably extends the timeline a bit until maybe a couple months post-election in terms of an all-time high attempt, but that also would likely give us some great buying opportunities. So I'm going to welcome any dips, even if we do break through, because of the current macro setup that's in place. Now, what is the macro setup? We have an 8-month consolidation range that we've compressed into off low historic volatility, heading into an election during a quantitative easing cycle after over 12 months in a tightening cycle, all happening at the same time that the real estate cycle is coming to its climax. So in terms of a macro setup, I do think we are set up for extreme upside across all risk assets, not only stocks, but also Bitcoin, and as an extension of that, altcoins. So from a macro point of view, I want to be positioned long. I want to be taking advantage of dips in the market. So if you zoom out, you really shouldn't be panicking right now. Or panicking even if we did happen to get a dip maybe into the 62 to 63K region. That would just be an opportunity to accumulate. But of course, that would only happen if we, do end up closing below 66. So we need to see how today and tomorrow end up playing out. I'm expecting continued chop across the market as a TLDR. I guess one of the really good signs that we have seen in recent days and recent weeks is the propensity of the boomers, the traditional, stock market participants to actually buy into Bitcoin. I mean, the ETF flows have been crazy. It's now absolutely smashing what the gold ETF did in its first few years. I think more inflows have already gone into the Bitcoin ETF than the first few years combined of the gold ETF. So it's been a resounding success. And this is slowly, not all at once, but over time going to guarantee that more liquidity keeps pumping into Bitcoin to actually reduce its downside volatility. Because if you have this consistent buy pressure happening, you're actually reducing downside risk on BTC. Over $2.5 billion over the past week and a half flowing into those ETFs, which is massive. Now, while we're on the topic of Bitcoin and gold, one thing I do want to note is that gold is rocketing towards, it's made new all-time highs, and it keeps making all-time highs every single day at the $2,700 mark. You can see that gold is now sitting 30% above its yearly high, whereas Bitcoin, 13% above its yearly high, whereas Bitcoin, no, that's wrong as well. Let me move this down because it is 30%. I remember the number. The exact number is 28.27% above its yearly high, whereas Bitcoin is obviously 10% below its yearly high. So if we extrapolate that and assume that eventually Bitcoin is going to catch up to gold in terms of yearly price performance, that would take Bitcoin past the $90,000 level to around $95,000. So, will Bitcoin catch up right away? It's hard to say. Obviously, gold is running due to macro uncertainty, due to stimulus, and people are just positioning in commodities right now. But I do think at some point, because Bitcoin's viewed as like digital gold, it does have that catch up versus the current rise in the gold price. The S&P as well has been outperforming Bitcoin. It's up 22% year to date. Gold's up 32% and is on track for its best year in 45 years. Silver's rallied 42%. Pretty much everything is pointing towards a Bitcoin catch-up, in my opinion, at some point. So that is pretty much just, providing some data for you to assert that I do think there is still, big upside for Bitcoin. And as an extension of that, altcoins in this market, it's just not going to be straight up all at once. It's going to take some time, and actually, if we do end up chopping and we do get pullbacks, those become, great accumulation opportunities. I won't get too much into strategy today because I want to focus on the AI trend specifically and some of the alt plays that I'm currently looking at, because we did go through strategy yesterday, and you can check out that video if you want to recap on that. It's funny. Alts did pull back over the past 24 hours, but there's been one coin which has saved my portfolio, and that's GOAT. I never thought an AI meme coin would be the one propping up my portfolio today, but here we are with GOAT up 50% for the day. Now, the trade that Paradise hit in the Discord yesterday on GOAT was absolutely insane. He called this at 19 cents. He said, there are the levels I marked to buy, so I bought, and he pretty much hit an instant 2.2x on that trade. Within a matter of hours, GOAT had already shot back up to 46 cents. It's now pulling back down to the 40-cent region, which is still roughly a 2x up from the entry in the Discord. As I said on yesterday's video, when Paradise made this call, I actually topped up on GOAT, so I was able to reduce my cost basis and also make more money on the pump, hence why it was one of my best performers over the past 24 hours. So well done to everyone that did get into that trade. Even if you didn't take profits, you're still up on your entry. For me, I view GOAT as like kind of an all or nothing play. I'm not as convicted in it as I am some other meme coins in the market like Pepe and even SPEC from a fundamental perspective, but I do think it's a fun experiment, and the AI meta has certainly been fruitful if you've had the propensity to trade it and step into the arena, because it is the number one trend on CT. I also made a call in my alpha channel in the Discord, which is also up, I think, like 15%. And honestly, over the last few weeks, we've been absolutely killing it. You can see in front of you, I actually did a bit of a recon on the profits that we've made in the alpha channel because I was interested myself. I felt like I was on a streak, but I wanted to quantify whether I was on a streak. And I went through all the trades over the past 2 weeks, including, the losses, the bad trades. And I worked out that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 calls. Of the 8 calls, 7 were profitable, only 1 lost money. And of those calls, we had Metis plus 48%, C-Pool plus 51%, Klaus plus 600%, Hippo plus 300%, GOAT plus 68%, SPX 29%, WMT down 15%, that was the loser, and Foxy up 48%. And there were a couple other calls as well, but I didn't count them as calls because they were like, soft shills, I guess, so to speak, where I just mentioned a coin. But they're also up. We've had things like Beam, Superverse, and Heart, like these kind of coins as well, which I've discussed from the gaming and the AI niches, which are also up. So we're on an amazing run, but I really don't plan on slowing down because I feel like I'm more in tune with the market than I have been in a long time. I'm sharing a lot of alpha in that channel. I mean, I'm not going to hit every single trade. You actually don't need a 100% strike rate. You don't even need to hit 7 out of 8 like you see here to actually make money in crypto. All you need to do is win more than 50% of the time for you to make money. I think Roger Federer said that, like he won 90% of games across his career, but he only won like 55% of points. And if you extrapolate that into the crypto market, it's the exact same. You don't need to win every trade. You just need to win more than you lose. Like if I can call one Klaus once a week or even once a month, that makes 600%, and I call 4 losing trades that all go to 0, you're actually still going to come out ahead if your position sizing is equal across those trades with the 6x. 5 coins can go to 0 and you can still make money hitting 1 6x. So that just gives you a little bit more insight into, strike rate in crypto. So, of course, I'll keep sharing alpha in that channel. Yesterday, I actually posted a new coin, which I think is going to join this list of winners. I'm very, very bullish on it. If you do join the Mars High Club today, you're going to get access to that call straight away. And I'm going to speak about it on the YouTube channel over the coming days. There's a link in the description below if you want to join. Come be a part of the community. Smash it with myself, Paradise, and the other traders there. Been an amazing, amazing, amazing community to be a part of. And it's honestly been so great to see it grow over the past few weeks and just become more lively and vibrant, and a lot of people have been flooding in, so that's been really cool. It's probably been the coolest thing I've done all year, is actually launching a community. Been super, super cool. So in terms of the playbook right now, to summarize yesterday's video, then we'll get into the AI stuff. Zoom out, refine your watch list, scoop on shakeouts, chill, and wait for new highs. It's really that simple. I'm going to tweet this later. Because I think a lot of people are trying to overcomplicate it right now. Now's not the time to be really heavy in leverage. Now's not the time to be taking extremely risky positional bets. If you have the macro view that we are going higher, you can position on dips, you can chill, stick to spot, only touch leverage if you're like trading very specific setups with a lower percentage of your portfolio. And I think if you do this and you concentrate and you don't spread across too many altcoins, you're going to end up in a pretty good position here on out, looking from a 6 to 12 month time frame. Now let's discuss Nvidia, because in my opinion, this could be the catalyst for an AI season. Now, AI, meme coins, and AI in terms of mindshare on Kaito has been absolutely exploding within crypto. But in reality, Nvidia, which is, I guess, the number one proxy that the stock market views as an AI play, has been making new highs and absolutely exploding, which I think does kick off a bit of a narrative for especially the GPU plays, which I'll discuss in a second here. So you can see that Nvidia has crossed the $3.5 trillion market cap mark for the first time, now just $70 billion away from replacing Apple as the most valuable company on earth, and I do anticipate that it will do so. The chart's absolutely insane. From the yearly highs, it's already up another 50% from earlier in this year in March, and it just keeps going higher and higher and higher, and I don't think this train is going to slow down just yet. I think there's still a lot of sideline capital that's going to FOMO in. Sisyphus had a tweet here saying that everyone thinking about downside risk, but I don't see anyone thinking about the risk Nvidia never goes down in price ever again. This means a lot of full sideline forever, and forever is a long time, bro. Sisyphus also said Nvidia will be twice as big as the entire crypto industry soon. What is it now? Like a 1.5x, I think. Because of the absence of any meaningful value in crypto, we tend to forget as an industry that the biggest pots of money are always from selling meaningful products or services. I mean, Nvidia as a business is absolutely amazing. I'm not necessarily buying the stock now. I mostly stick to ETFs and, hedge funds, mutual funds when I tend to invest in the stock market. I pretty much stuck to like a very passive strategy. I've got a couple managed funds in my portfolio. I mostly stick to the S&P though, and other global indexes. So I don't try my luck at picking. I have like made a 5x and gotten lucky on a few stocks like Apple, which I'm a big holder of. But the play here, in my opinion, isn't Nvidia. I think the play is the legitimacy that the Nvidia run, and also the awareness that the Nvidia run has had for the problem that Nvidia is actually solving, and that is a lack of GPUs. This AI trend, all these AI agents, all this AI infrastructure, it's limited by physical hardware. You need compute power in order to power all of this infrastructure. Now, recently, I wanted to launch my own like agent/bot, and I had to go onto AWS and buy a physical server. And the process was A, very expensive, and B, a lot of these places had sold out of GPUs and had to jack up prices. And this is on a very small, like, anecdotal example of me needing to use, like, a cloud computing service. What happens for these warehouses of AI agents? What happens for companies that need to run and scale all this AI infra and tech? There is, and there is going to continue to be, a massive shortage as the world continues to transition into AI. And look, the market knows this, and that's why Nvidia's been rocketing, because it's pricing it in. And there's probably 20 years of AI growth priced into the stock right now. But hardware and the lack of GPU hardware is a major issue. DePin in crypto actually solves this, by the way, which is one of the reasons why I'm very bullish on DePin as a solution. So DePin basically operates usually via a node system where you incentivize a bunch of people around the world to contribute, to offer GPU power, or to run a node, to run a decentralized network. And the bigger that network gets, the more you can economize the price of hardware. So you're actually able to package hardware at a much lower cost than your traditional counterparts like, Google and AWS. So in my opinion, this will take a long time to play out, but there's a genuine flywheel that can kick off for DePin longer term in crypto. However, it's not really that longer term flywheel I want to focus on today, although that's certainly a fundamental case for holding these coins long term. I think in the short term, as Nvidia keeps rallying, it keeps drawing attention to this narrative. And eventually, in my opinion, because crypto is so liquid and you can speculate on crypto so easily in the liquid market, and because Nvidia's run so much, people are going to treat these coins as proxies somewhat. We're already seeing a little bit. We saw it back in March. But it's the reason why I continue to add AI coins to my portfolio, because I do believe at some point this will kick off. Now, you guys know I'm a fan of Tau. Render, I don't hold a lot of, as I said yesterday, but I'm looking at opportunities. I like Arweave and I like a few other plays, but to me, it's some of the DePin plays that I think could reprice the most aggressively. And I do think this is going to happen at the same time that we do see a slight pivot back from financial nihilism, so like meme coins and pure degeneracy, back to utility at some point this cycle. Because here's the thing. There's a contingent of the market that actually wants to invest into something that they feel is real. Not everyone wants to speculate on meme coins. Not everyone just wants to gamble on something just to make money. People, they want to have a thesis. They want to build out a thesis, and they want to buy a coin, and they want to have reasons why they bought a coin. Like, this is how investing works. If someone, buys a stock on the stock market, they have a thesis, and they look through the data, and, they feel comfortable with their investment because they've built that thesis out. I think there is, like, a little bit of I don't even know the word to describe it. I guess nihilism is the best word in the meme coin space of like, nothing matters, we're just gambling on memes. Not everyone wants the feeling of nothing matters. Some people want to feel like they're investing in something real. Now, maybe the crypto degens don't, but at least the real contingent of the market, like, people that invest in stocks, your mom and dad investors, even when I first got into crypto, I was looking for that. And it seems like the meta has shifted more towards nihilism over time. But I do think this is going to shift back at some point. And when I think about where it could shift back to, there are a couple really obvious plays. One is DePin and AI, which I'm discussing today. Another one is actually DeFi, like these, original principal applications like Uniswap, Aave, etc. Taiki Maeda did a podcast and has done many videos on that. So I think there will at some point be a shift back. The way I'm positioning is, look, I'm embracing both. I'm very heavy on memes. You guys know I'm big into memes. We're going to speak about a couple memes later today, but I'm also betting on utility. There's no need to pick both. I don't know why there's this argument on crypto Twitter of like, oh, we need to, go all in on meme coins, and oh no, I hate meme coins. I'm only going in on utility. Just own both. Hedge against two segments of the market, and you'll probably come out ahead. In terms of DePin, you guys know I talk about coins like Aether a lot. Render's an option. Tau, it's not DePin, but it's AI. It's like an AI LLM network, which is a beneficiary just because of how big it is, and it has endorsements, in a roundabout way from like Elon Musk and other people. So I'm not going to talk about that today. I do want to remind you about AIOZ though. AIOZ is a coin that I haven't forgotten about. The only reason I haven't been talking about it is due to price action, and I have been waiting for the right technical signals to re-enter a percentage of my position that I ended up de-risking risking on the breakdown where we were making lower highs at like 70 cents and 60 cents. I think that time is coming soon. The must reclaim level is 54 cents, but we also are flirting, we've rejected a few times, off this diagonal trend line. If we start to break above, and I'm just putting it on your radar early, I want to give you the early scoop before it starts to run. I really would have this on your watch list to potentially enter a position, because what they're building is very, very cool. They've got a DePin AI ecosystem, which is basically their Web3 AI ecosystem where you can store AI datasets, run tasks, train AI models, build AI dApps. Like, that's just one component. They also have the video streaming component. They also have the storage component. So that's what I like about it. The other thing I like is that it's fully diluted, so you don't have this crazy dilution like some of the other coins in the niche. And it's also on Coinbase. Don't fade exchange listings. When retail comes back in and they want to speculate on the AI proxies to like be the next Nvidia, they're just going to want to bid on Coinbase and Binance. And you got to think about the fact that the path of least resistance is a major factor for alts in crypto. So having the listings is good, and it's not hyped. So I just wanted to put that back on your radar. I haven't forgotten about it. I've gotten some questions about it. It's still on my radar. The only reason, as I said, I hadn't been talking about it is because I de-risked and there's been no technical sign for me to get back in. But from a fundamental perspective, it's still there, and I would love to get back in when the technicals align. And I might even start DCAing a little bit just to get some of my position back in over the next coming days and weeks. The next trend is obviously AI meme coins, because you guys know a lot of the AI coins I talk about now. Tao's on my accumulation list, Nia's on my accumulation list, and some others as well. As for the AI meme coins, this is really the hot trend right now. Now, in front of you, I'm not going to endorse these, but Fabian did post a list of the smaller caps that are Genon and Goat like beta plays. I don't know anything about these. I'm not suggesting you buy them, but maybe look into them if you really are in the AI meme coin trenches. There might be some good things here. I know Fabian's pretty good with the small caps. Also, this is a risky narrative. It's not a sure bet. This could all go to zero, but it's just a fun game that I'm playing. The main one I'm playing is Goat. I've been stacking on major dips. I'm probably not going to buy now because I got an entry at 27 and 20, but if it drops again to 20 and has another FUD thing, I might stack some. It's like $1 billion or nothing though, in my opinion. Genon is another one I'm not in, but I know Fabian's in, and this might be one that interests some of you to look into. And then the small caps, you can pause the video earlier to get a look at them. Other proxies to the AI meme narrative, in my opinion, are one, Solana, which has been rocketing, but maybe there's not a huge edge getting into that trade. I think if you're just holding a spot, you can continue to hold, it'll do well. But there's probably not like a 5x in Solana, in my opinion. Whereas something like a SPEC, there could be a few multiples here. A SPEC is basically the leading AI agent play in crypto. What they allow you to do, and this is very cool, I might do a video on this in the future, I plan to because it's really useful, is you can basically set up AI agents to trade on your behalf, execute based on the parameters that you set, which in my opinion is going to change the way, eventually, everyone in crypto trades. I think eventually, we've already seen Telegram bots, right? People won't even need to trade on centralized exchanges. You can set up an agent to fit your parameters, even if you're just DCAing, right? And you're just a spot trader. You can take the guesswork out by setting parameters, train the AI to get smarter over time, and it will execute on your behalf. That's freaking cool, and that's something I want exposure to from a fundamental perspective. So Spectral's one of them. And also, it just fits the narrative. Tech aside, it's got the right narrative right now with no unlocks for over 6 months, which is good. And also, it's the number one AI agent proxy. And this entire AI meme run is being driven by AI agents. So that's one. Looking at the total crypto market cap to kind of round out my analysis here, the good thing is, this is the others chart, by the way, so it's just altcoins. We broke above the resistance level at 220 billion. Total 3, I think, is also looking positive with that break of range high. So alts are at a very key level. If Bitcoin chops here, I expect alts to continue to consolidate. We may even see a couple times where we wick down and grab some liquidity. As long as we are making higher lows, I'm still relatively confident in the altcoin market to recover and make a higher high. So the playbook, as I mentioned earlier, really becomes zooming out, refining your watch list, and scooping on shakeouts, and then you can chill and wait for new highs. Consolidate your portfolio so you have like 2 top AI plays, 2 top DePin plays, 2 RWA plays, like a few infrastructure bets, a couple DeFi bets, and a few meme coins. Like it's really that simple. You shouldn't be managing more than 15 coins. I think 15 coins is actually the perfect amount for this cycle. I get that question a lot, Miles, how many coins should I hold? I think the less time you have to invest and trade, the less coins you should hold. But 15 for the average investor is very good. 10 to 15. 10's doable, but the problem with 10 is, you might like Whiff and Pepe. Going 50-50 on them kind of hedges against one succeeding versus the other. Whereas if you have to pick one and the other one succeeds, you kind of end up losing out. Same with maybe like a GOAT and a Genon, or a Tau and a Nia, or, you've got all of these comparisons, like a Beam and a Super for gaming. So having two kind of gives you a bit more exposure to the narrative. But look, if you do have much more conviction in one coin versus another, my general rule would be to consolidate. The more consolidating you can do, the better your portfolio is going to perform, in my opinion. If you want to pause the video and look at Fabian's macro outlook as well, you can do so. He posted this in the Discord. He gives updates all the time. Basically just saying, don't overtrade in either direction right now. For me, it's kind of a no man's land in terms of trading. Like, certainly no leverage, but even for spot, the only spot buys I've made over the past week or so is GOAT, because it's been fun, SPEC because we got a major dip and I wanted exposure and I missed it, and a couple other things as well. This RWA coin, which I shared in the Discord. If you join, you'll get access to that. I'll speak about that soon. But only really a few plays over the last couple of weeks. Haven't been adding like crazy because we are in no man's land. Bitcoin is into resistance. Yes, it could be on the verge of breaking, but it hasn't done so yet. And altcoins also need to decide whether they're going to pick up steam here, or maybe we have a little period of cool down. I don't necessarily know. I anticipate maybe sideways with some red days for you to be able to scoop up that get bought up quite quickly before post-election we go on a bigger rally. That's my general thesis in the market right now. But the timeline, it doesn't really matter whether a rally happens in a week or a month or 2 months, because we're preparing our portfolios for a little bit more longer term than that, targeting like Q1, Q2 next year. So it's kind of inconsequential to me whether we get a big breakout at the end of October or the end of November or the end of December. One more bit of alpha I want to give you before I head off is, remember, it's better to take profit too early than too late. It's also okay to take profit even if you think prices are going higher. It's not your job to time the top. It's your job to make money. I'll leave a link in the description to the Mars High Club below if you want to join. Come be a part of the community. We had an amazing AMA session yesterday, and I'll be posting alpha in there pretty much every single day alongside our amazing traders. I'm going to see you in the next video. Good luck in the markets. Have a lovely rest of your day. Keep hustling, keep researching, keep grinding, because the risk reward of being in this market has never been higher. See you in the next one. Peace.